everyone. My name is Geneva Claxton, and I'm a member of the worship team here at the First Apostolic Church. And I want to personally welcome you to our online worship experience. If you're a first-time guest here, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. We would like to invite you to our in-person worship service on Sundays at 2 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 7. We also invite you to like our Facebook and Instagram pages. Today's experience consists of a few minutes of worship and a small message from our pastor. We encourage you to get involved with the church and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or prayer requests. We look forward to interacting with you, and we hope this experience blesses you and your family.
I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful I know the name above all names, the name that is higher than any other name. Why don't you go ahead and stand and just worship with us today? One God, one place, one name brings us together. We've come to glorify our King. One love, one heart, one voice to praise the Father.
Hey everybody, I hope your week is going good. I hope you're feeling good today. It is great to be with you. Thank you for allowing me just a few minutes to talk with you. Don't you just hate it when things break down? Don't you just hate it when your car breaks down, a lawnmower breaks down, something in your house breaks, a piece of equipment maybe that works breaks down? I recently had this happen. I recently had a piece of equipment that malfunctioned and it stopped working properly. The technician came and checked it out and he found the problem. A part within this piece of equipment had broken, and when I asked about the solution, he told me, just throw it away and buy a new one. But after checking with the manufacturer, we found out that the part was no longer available and the whole piece of equipment would have to be replaced. Now, we hear this story quite often. We live in a throwaway time. If something gets broken, you just throw it away, order another one, have it delivered to your house, and put it on. But there is a growing group of people that are discovering that many things can be fixed. Many things that were considered broken and useless can now be restored or repaired. And thus we have the DIY movement. And thanks to DIY videos and resources, many things that would have been thrown away, even things as big as houses, are now being restored. Well, I know people who feel this way, not so much about things that are broken in their house, but their own lives. I know people who feel like their lives are broken. They feel like that they are not worth using anymore. They've made some mistakes. They've messed some things up. And by some standards, they believe that they should just be thrown away. Many feel broken and have just given up on life. A lot of folks have bad relationships. Relationships have gone bad in the home. Fathers and sons and even marriages that were once strong are now ended up in divorce. Many people feel like their lives are broken by bad decisions. They've made decisions in the past and they're living the results of those decisions today. Some folks have allowed habits in their lives to remain, and they have become addictions. And so because of these addictions and all of these reasons, many people just feel like that their lives are broken and there is no purpose, there's no value in them anymore. Many feel broken and are ready to give up. They're just a piece of old junk that's ready to be put out to the curb so that the garbage men can come, pick them up and dispose of them at the landfill. Well, if you feel that way today, and many do, the Bible gives hope to you. In the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1, it says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness." Now, the term overtaken in a fault applies to many people and to many of us today. Overtaken in a fault is just addressing the fact that people have faults. We have faults in our lives. We make mistakes. Sometimes our lives get broken. And so the writer says, if a man be overtaken in a fault, then those which are spiritual around him should help him to restore. He tells the friends around this one to restore. Now, restore basically means to repair or to mend it or to bring it to a place of completeness one more time. Jesus gives us a great example of that in the New Testament and how He related to Peter, who had made some mistakes in his life. Jesus was telling His disciples, and Peter was part of that group, about His soon coming departure from the world, the time that He would be persecuted, crucified, and ultimately killed. And He likened it to a shepherd with sheep. And He said the shepherd is going to be taken and the sheep are going to scatter. In other words, I'm going to be taken away from all of the disciples and all of you guys are going to run and hide. And Peter raised his hand and said, "Not me. I'll never do that. Jesus, I'm your number one fan. I will be here. It doesn't matter what happens to you. I'm going to be right here. I'll never leave you." And he declared this with all of his heart. Well, the Bible story goes on that Jesus, of course, went to the cross, crucified, buried, resurrected. During that time, when Jesus was being tried, many people came to the disciples and they questioned them. 3 times people came to Peter and asked him, "Do you know Jesus Christ?" Now, the reason they were asking is because as Jesus was being convicted and getting ready to be punished or persecuted, not for any crime that he had done, but just because these people wanted to kill him, they were asking the disciples, and Peter knew that if he was associated with Jesus, there was possibility that he could be persecuted and even killed. And so he said 3 times, "I don't know Jesus." This disciple of Jesus 3 times told people, "I don't even know who Jesus is. I don't know Him." And finally, he just cursed at them. He became that defensive about it. Now, Peter's life at that point was in a turmoil because he had committed a terrible, terrible thing. I mean, it was terrible to say, "I don't know Jesus Christ. I don't know this man, this friend that I've had. I don't know him." And he denied him. What a terrible, terrible thing. You know, many times we think we've done terrible things in our lives, and there's no way that anybody could forgive us of that. Peter denied that he even knew Jesus Christ at a time that Jesus Christ needed him more than ever. Peter said, "I don't know Him." We would think today that there's no way he could ever be restored. There's no way that this man who was overtaken in a fault could ever be brought back to a place of healing and relationship with Jesus. But we find after the resurrection, after Jesus had been crucified, buried, and resurrected, that He met with Peter. He was on the shore one day cooking fish, and Peter came along, and Jesus got Peter over to the side one day and He said, "Do you love me?" He asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" And Peter's he responded in the affirmative every time. And Jesus said, "I want you to do something. I want you to feed my sheep." Now, Jesus was doing something here in the restoration process. He was restoring His relationship with Peter and Peter's relationship with Jesus. Do you love me? Do you really care about me? Do you really have a concern for me? And Peter knew, Peter did, he did. He responded, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." And Jesus restored that relationship. You see, relationships can be restored with that spirit of love. And then Jesus said, "I want you to feed my sheep." What He was saying is, I'm not going to be around in this world very much longer. I need somebody to watch over all of my church, all of this church, this New Testament church. I need somebody to feed that group. And He restored Peter to a place of leadership. This man who had denied that he even knew Jesus Christ now was being restored with relationship and restored with leadership, position. You know, if Peter can be restored, then you can be restored. If Peter can be restored, I can be restored. From my faults, from my brokenness, from my bad decisions, we can be restored today. If you have been broken and you feel like there's no place for you, Jesus is in the business of restoring broken lives. So today I encourage you to reach out to Him and receive His help. I know you think that there's no way that Jesus could ever love me. I'm here to tell you, if He can love Peter, He can love you. He can restore that relationship with you. So go to church. Go to church. Receive the help of people who really care about you, and they want to see you put your life back together again. They want to help you do that. Go to church and let those people love you. It will bring you to a place of restoration. Jesus will bring you to a place of restoration. It will happen. Help is waiting, and you can be restored today. I'm praying for you. Until we can get together again, I'm praying that God will help you today. If you're broken and you feel like there is no hope, I'm here to tell you, Jesus is there to help you. He can restore your life.